Well, this is something I don't typically do. After the randomizer on the 12-hour stream, when I got to the 50 star door, I felt like the 50 star door was farther than it should be, which after checking it out, I was wrong, but that gave me the feeling of, is the game acting up? Is the game different? And I thought of the Mario 64 Iceberg. For those of you who don't know, this iceberg has a lot of both true, like factual Mario 64 stuff, and then it has like myths and rumors, and it goes a long way. As you can see, there are loads of stuff here. The top of the iceberg will be like normal stuff, like theories or weird stuff that happen in the game. For example, L is real 2401 was this constant rumor of, oh, where is Luigi in Mario 64? That's so weird. Where is he? Turns out he was in the game. He just wasn't implemented. Like the model was found and all that. The iceberg came up a couple of months ago alongside a lot of Nintendo 64 leaks, which is where they confirm L is real 2401. So I wanted to look at this. Not go too much in depth because honestly I'm not a... I don't know every single thing about Mario 64, and this hasn't... I know I'm really late to the punch, but I just got filled with that Mario 64 mystery while playing the randomizer. So I was like, okay, let's take a little look. Like, at least a couple per tier. There are like 5 tiers. So the first one, like, Space World 95 beta is, well, the Mario 64 beta. Apparently it was very different to what you got in the game, which is very interesting. And that this thing ties into something else that's below there. Parallel Universes is the Panenkoek video, how he says, but first we must talk about Parallel Universes. So, to some normal person that plays Mario 64, it might be like, wait, what? But he actually explains it in his video. He's like, oh yes, Mario goes to another universe, quote unquote. It's the same level, but it has less stuff, and that allows you to warp and whatnot. Which is where the Mario speedrunning meme comes in, like the animations and all that. It's a very interesting video. And it actually makes some sense, which is insanity. Well, Half an A Press is again Panenkoek. I'll link it into in the description. Bob on Battlefield Bridge Hanging, it's very interesting. Because in the first in Bob on Battlefield, in the first bridge, the one that has the coins below it, you know how you can use the monkey bars in Mario 64? Like, jump and cling? You can do that in that bridge, and there is no point. My guess is that all the bridges you can do that, but they didn't code that out, which is fine. It's just a really weird detail. So now we go a bit deeper into the iceberg. As you can see, there are pictures here on the right side. They're meant to be pictures, at least representing one of the stuff here. Like, this one is L is real 2401. Apparently that's what it says here. Then we got this one that says, please walk quietly in the hallway, which is... where is it? Here. So, this is a bit weird because why? Like, why does Peach or the Toads or whoever made the signs be like, oh, walk quietly, like, what's happening? What's the point of being quiet in a castle? Why do you want to walk quietly all the time? It's not like it says, well, you know, people are sleeping and all that. It's like, walk quietly. But why? Why? What's the point? Then you have the secret aquarium, which that's a level, like a secret level. But then there's the other, like, you know, there's only one entrance to that aquarium. The other one doesn't lead you anywhere. And you have the aquarium in the Jolly Roger base room that you can't go in there. So what's up with that? Regarding another, like, sign, it's don't become his lunch. That's for Dory in Hazy Maze Cave. You know, the blue big creature, the Lapras. It has a sign that says don't become his lunch, but Dory never attacks you. You use Dory to get to the star or the metal cap or or the other star, the one that you have to get to the switch. But why don't become his lunch? Can Dory eat you, even though it's proven that it can't? Why? The big dud is it's a very interesting one. I think this is one of the most interesting to me because of on Battlefield. It's like when you go to the first star, it's just the two little rolling balls. Just well, little. You got the two rolling balls just going in the valley. Then you beat King Womp. Like you throw him, he explodes, gives you the star. But in all the other stars, that little valley has three. It is heavily implied that that's King Bobomb's corpse. But he blew up. So how is it his corpse if he's, into pieces? The Unagi's tunnel is actually a very interesting one because you can see in the Can They Come Out to Play star, he changed from the ship to his tunnel. What's behind the tunnel? I remember when I first played Mario 64 DS, because I played that one before 64. The Unagi was really scary, so I was like very careful trying to approach it because it really scared me. And I'm like, can I go behind there? Like, is there something? You hide all your whole eel body, which mind you, the eel is huge. So it's like, can we go in there? Is there something there? To be honest, I actually mistook it a lot for the actual cave in Jolly Roger's Bay, the one with the chests. But yeah, what's behind there? That's a very good question. The yellow cap switch actually also intrigues me a lot because it's that and the Blarg are two things that were supposed to be in the game. Blarg was like the combination of a bully and a Chukia. Like they had the resistance of the bully and they could only die by being tossed into lava, and they could grab you and throw you. It was like a mini King Bomb, the more I think about it. And the yellow cap switch is like the vanish cap, the metal cap, and the wing cap. But I think it either you could turn off all the yellow boxes in the game, like the coins, stars, and the shell. That's how the switch works in Mario World. That would be my guess. We go a bit deeper, and this picture I think is related to the fact that Zelda 64 assets in Wet Dry World. Because this wall and the stairs, like sure the skybox, let's say in the stair here, this is Mario 64, but I mean this wall and this form of the stair, they remind me a lot of something in Ocarina. One of the temples, but I'm just talking out my ass here. But it is true that Zelda 64, like with the Nintendo leaks, they found out that Zelda 64 had a pedestal, like the same one, this one. It had like a cube, and it had the Ellis reel there, which is very funny. Like, yeah, of course they will share assets sometimes. Obviously, what fits in Zelda. Obviously, what Mario fits in Zelda, and vice versa. But it was very interesting that they kept that. I guess, why not? Like a reference. Well, Dry World Skybox, yeah, that's very interesting as well. Like, all of the iceberg is interesting, I mean, but the Wet Dry World Skybox is so weird because that's an actual town. And you compare it to the rest of the game's skyboxes, and it's like, oh yeah, normal sky, or wow, so purple, so fitting for Mario. But then Wet Dry World has a town. Drowned in water, why? Just why? Skyboxes are photographs, yeah. Those are like, the skyboxes are like pictures. They're not like 3D render or anything, it's just a picture covering the world. I'm surprised it's so below the iceberg. Like, that doesn't sound weird, it's just a Nintendo 64 thing. We're not even going to touch Mario 64's Freemason initiation, and 120 has a spiritual significance. We're not touching that. Yoshi commits suicide. That's just a funny thing to read out of context, I'm sorry. But the thing is that when you get 120 stars, you can go to the top of the castle and talk to Yoshi. But he just jumps from the roof after he's like, "Oh, Mario, you found me. I missed you." Blah blah blah. He just jumps, and he either falls on the castle grounds or to the drain mode. So how do you survive that, Yoshi? Something funny about Mario enters Wet Dry World early in Got Milk commercial. That's actually wrong. I saw the Got Milk commercial because I was like, I wonder what Mario 64 commercials were like. And it has Wet Dry World, but with a Bob and Battlefield skybox. And they actually go with 31 stars, so that's nothing weird, it's just someone misplaced it. Unless there's another God Milk commercial, but the one I saw had 31 stars, so... How Bowser got into the castle with his sub. That's... Huh. That's actually a very good question. How does Bowser get into the castle? Because when you get sucked in Dire Docks, it takes you to the lake in the castle grounds. But that's like not deep at all. Like a little bit more and Mario can just walk on it. So how do you get a massive sub? And how does that lead into Bowser in the Fire Sea? It's something I never understood. That's actually a very good question. Okay, so we go a bit deeper into more creepy stuff and more like, what the hell is this? The Wario apparition is this, that was used in the 1996 E3, I believe. As you can see, this is the Dire Docks hallway. And you just have a Wario here talking. So why Wario here? Like, is Wario supposed to spawn in the Dire Docks reflection? Is Wario supposed to do anything? Why is this here? Why Wario? I get that there was a big push for Wario in the 90s, but what are you doing? What is this? Wiggler's body parts are used in Bowser fights. Okay. Ooh. That's actually... Yeah, because they're the same shape and color. Like, you got the Bowser ring, and you have the little yellow ball, and on top of that you have the bomb, where you have to throw Bowser. I guess those are just similar, like, modeling-wise, but that's really creepy to imagine, like, Bowser is like... No, because Bowser... Why would Bowser put bombs? But who did put the bombs then? Unless Bowser's so stupid that he actually... Or maybe he wanted to throw Mario there, who knows? It would be so creepy, like, imagine, like, a Wiggler ball on top of the bomb. Like, the bomb is on top of a Wiggler piece. So, what else do we have here? The course in the Bowser painting. Oh, that's right, because that's actually also something I wanted to try as a kid in 64 DS. In the first Bowser room, like going to Bowser to the Dark World, Bowser 1, as I call it. Well, many call it, but you know. I never use the Bowser names. You got the painting of Peach, and as you go ahead, it turns into Bowser. And you can't keep going because there is an invisible wall and the floor, like it's a trap floor, and you just get sunk, like it falls and you fall, and and the course starts. So the question is, what's up with that painting? Is there a course there maybe? Which the course is theorized to be the Bowser room, which apparently there is a room with related to Bowser, like a Bowser painting, I think it is. This is stuff like 1995 build, do not research, and full Oman archives. I think they're related. Like the theory is that this is where every copy of Mario is personalized comes in. That apparently some testers like got really affected by the build, let's say. Like, it's really creepy, but it kind of gets into creepypasta places that I really don't believe it. It's like been drowned. That's creepypasta stuff, so I don't really care about that one. I kind of want to talk about the possibilities and the, wow, this actually makes sense. As HMC entrance room is a sewer and HMC is the castle septic system. That actually kind of makes sense. When you go into the Hazy Maze Cave room, not the level, the room, as you have Toad, and the walls look like they're pipes. So you're all like, and it's a basement, so it's like, is this like a sewer, like the castle sewer? And then you go into Hazy Maze Cave through that gooey thing that's clearly not water. And the walls are all green, there's like bugs, there's holes, pits, a toxic maze, a toxic gas fume. So you're like, is this a septic system? Is this like all crap? Bowser broke the door. I guess, yeah, because how does he get in? Well, oh no, because we have Bowser's sub. So what door does he break? Peach is behind the stained glass window. That makes sense. Because you have, like, on the entrance to the castle, you have the Peach glass window. And on the inside, that window is as well there. And Peach comes out of that, of the stained glass window when you finish the game. So maybe there is a room there. Like, modeling wise, when people go through the camera and all that, doesn't show up. But expanding ourselves from the gameplay and the modeling, we could be like, oh, Peach is actually there. It'll be funny if they, clearly they won't. But if Nintendo remade Mario 64 and they actually included a room with Peach being trapped there, it would be so cool. It will be so interesting, honestly. The internal plexus of the castle. That's very interesting. I think that what that means is, how does the castle work? Because you have the model outside, like that. You have the castle, and when you go in, the structure of the castle makes no sense at all. The rooms don't fit. There are windows outside the castle, but they're not inside. There are so many rooms on the top of the castle, like TikTok Clock, Rainbow Ride, Tiny Huge Island, Snowman's Land. How does all of that fit? How does that make any sense? And some people also throw in the Mario 64 DS, like when you go to the right at the beginning, where the secret slide used to be. Now it's the rec room where you change characters, and behind that, that room's still there. So what's up with the castle? Also, some people nowadays throw Odyssey in there, because the castle is totally different than it was in 64. Sequel was cancelled due to temporal leakage. I knew it. I knew Mario 64 2 was cancelled because of time. That's what I meant with the... the deeper we go, the crazier the thing gets. It's like, it makes less and less sense. This is like some creepypasta game theory level. I feel MatPat will do this. I love you, MatPat, by the way. Miyamoto stole Mario 64 from Organa. That's something I actually read about. That's not confirmed, of course, because Nintendo wouldn't go like, oh yes, we stole Mario 64. But Argonaut, they used to work for Nintendo somewhat. They made Star Fox 2, and they were making a 3D game, which I think ended up being Croc for the PS1. But they were testing 3D modeling with quote-unquote Yoshi. And apparently Miyamoto was like, wow, this is very cool. And they used a lot of it as a basis for 64, which is very interesting. And of course, at the very end, every copy of Mario 64 is personalized by using the 1995 build and the AI. So the the thing behind these two, which is I'm surprised this one is here, while Delicious Cake is here, for example. Uh, Delicious Cake will be where's the cake, but I guess. But the thing about every copy being personalized means that the AI of Mario 64, how the game was built, it was supposed to adapt to your mind. It was supposed to adapt to your to your psychology. It's like the game will change according to who plays it, and that's why you only play your own cartridge, and playing someone else's is like, whoa, this is weird. I don't remember this being here. Obviously, that's kind of ridiculous because obviously they're all produced in mass, they're all developed in mass. But that will be the connection between these two, which are the core of this whole iceberg. They're like the most insane thing you can think of. When the iceberg used to pop up a couple of months ago, it was like the most interesting stuff next to Wario, like next to the Wario apparition. But yeah, this whole thing. I know I didn't go too in depth, and I just talked a little bit about it. I know this is like really like not going into depth compared to many other stuff, many other people, because I don't want to talk too much out of my ass. I just wanted to look at this just because of the randomizer. Like the randomizer made me feel like obviously it's all randomized, so it makes sense that everything is all over the place. But I feel like the rooms were also a bit off. So it was like, what's happening here? And I obviously had heard about the iceberg and the leaks and all that. And I was like, okay, let's take a look at what of these makes sense and what of this is nonsense. And there are many of them that I didn't talk about. I know the ones I talked about, they were super like very basic compared to what Tetrabit Gaming or Swanky Box could tell you. But obviously the top ones are the ones that make more sense, and they have been actually proven. And then there are other stuff here that is like, wow, this actually, how does this work? Or wow, they actually showed this, the Wario operation here, or like, wow, Miyamoto maybe stole ideas for 64 and never credited Argonaut. How does the castle work? It's like you have the craziest theories that have some defense on them. Then you have pure creepypasta. And then you have weird glitches or facts about the game. So it's like very interesting to think about. How does Mario 64 work? Because the development was crazy for the game. So like, what stuff got in there from those previous versions? How does this all work? So yeah, having a good look at this is very interesting, to be honest. I recommend all those people I mentioned because they got really, they got like more theory minds than me. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this, but yeah, this is all insanity. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of bases here that it's like, wow, it makes sense because I actually did go, huh, this makes sense. But all of this, it's just wow. It's overwhelming, to be honest, to be looking at this, especially because of the black background and the red text. It's really ominous and very interesting, and it shows how passionate and sometimes insane the Mario 64 community is. This is incredible in many ways, and I know I'm really late to the punch, but I don't want to go into depth with this. I just wanted to ramble for a bit. So thank you for hearing my rambling. Check the description, please. Many stuff is in there. And stay safe. And remember, your Mario 64 is different than my Mario 64.